So I've just bought this G11 BMW 750i. Now, I tend to keep my cars for around about 4 or 5 years, so I thought it'd be good to do a video diary over the period of time that I own this car. So why have I bought a new car, you might ask? Well, I did have a F02 760li, but it had a lot of miles on and it had an engine fault, which meant it was going to be very expensive to fix. So I had to find something different. And I do a lot of driving and I wanted something with a little bit of power, wanted something that was going to be a bit fast. So I looked around to see what I could see. I looked at 8 Series, 8 Series Coupe. They look great, but they're not very practical. The seats in the back are, you know, there's just no room in the back of the things. So I thought about an 8 Series Coupe and I looked at those and I wasn't quite sure. And one day I was just browsing the adverts and I came across 750. Now, for some strange reason, I didn't consider a 750. So I had a look at it and look at the performance figures and I liked the car. So I went and bought it. So this is a 2017 model G11 750i M Sport. It's got a 4.4 litre engine in. It's a twin turbo and it's obviously this is going to get compared to the 760 because I had the 760 for years. That was an amazing car. It was a 760 Li M Sport, and I can't help but compare it to this because I've just literally sold it. So you're going to hear a few comparisons in these video diaries between this and the 760, and it's probably a little bit unfair because the 760 is the top of the range BMW, whereas it's just a little bit lower down. So there's going to be differences. So this particular model, this is in Alpine white, and the 760 was black. So I was glad to get rid of a black car because it shows up all the marks and constantly looks dirty. Well, this is a little bit dirty at the moment, but it looks clean. So that's great. People think white cars are difficult to keep clean. It's not actually that bad. So it's Alpine white. The interior is a very, very light leather. It is called ivory. It's a Napa leather, and I think it's called ivory leather. I think that's the name of it. Very light. I wanted something a little bit lighter instead. The 760 had a black interior. I wanted something that looked lighter. It has more of a bit of a luxurious feel to the car rather than just a standard black leather. Now, this is the M Sport model. So you can see you've got the black trim down the side and the small M badge, and that indicates it's the M Sport model. The car itself is obviously a lot newer than the 760. The 760 was 2000. What year was it? 2010. This is 2017. So the tech in the car is a lot more up to date. The spec of this car isn't anywhere near what the 760 is. So there's a few things I've had to do away with, unfortunately. The 760 had head-up display. I love that. This hasn't got that, unfortunately, but it's got a good, clear speedometer, and it's quite easy to see how fast you're going. Also, if you put it in sport mode, the speed comes up as a digital display in the middle of the speedometer. We'll be looking at that at a later date. So it's got different things. It's got some things that the 760 didn't have. It's got the little triangles on the mirrors. If there's somebody in the lane next to you, there's a warning not to pull out. It's got those. I quite like them. And it's got something that I don't know if I'll ever use, but it's got heated seats will use, yes, but it's got massage seats, and there's quite comprehensive range of different types of massage. I can't really ever think I'd use that, but maybe my passengers would. Another feature that this car has that the previous one maybe did have, but I didn't really use it, is BMW Connected Drive. So what I've done, I've downloaded the app, and I've had a look on the iDrive to see what it does, and I'm not 100% familiar with it, but there's a couple of little features that I've seen. There's a package for about £109 a year, which will give you sat-nav updates and a few other bits and pieces of functionality. And if you want Apple CarPlay, it's a one-off payment of something like £265, which really is quite expensive. You'd think a car like this would have something like that built in. You know, there's a lot smaller and cheaper cars would have Apple CarPlay as standard. So why BMW make you pay £265 to have Apple CarPlay? I don't really know. But I'm probably going to try one of those, but that's something we can look at in a future video. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pop the bonnet and let you have a look under the bonnet at the 4.4 litre V8 twin turbo engine. Okay, so now we've opened the bonnet and we can now see the engine. This is a 4.4 litre V8 twin turbo engine producing 450 bhp and 650 Newton meters of torque. Not quite as powerful as the 760 I just got rid of. That was 544 bhp with 750 Newton meters. So, but the 0 to 60 times is not that much different. The 760 was something like 0 to 60 in 4.6. This is 4.8. There's 0.2 of a second. It's not going to be noticeable. And I think that the only way you're going to notice a difference in the power is when you get up to like 3-figure speeds, which clearly you don't do on the public road. So for all intents and purposes, for everyday driving, this is probably going to feel almost as fast as the 760 that I just sold. So we'll look around the outside of the car now. So take a look at the alloys first of all. 760 had 20-inch alloys on. This has got 19-inch. I think the alloys could do with just being that little bit bigger. The bi-colour M-Tech alloys, as I say, with 19-inch tyres on, and there was sort of a, I don't know, sort of a gunmetal grey type of colour. Got the little M badge there, which indicates it's an M Sport car, and the M Sport cars have this design feature that's running down the side of the car. And we go around the back. You'll probably notice the back windows isn't actually tinted. It's got some sunshades on, which we'll talk about that at a later date. Okay, so now we get a back view of the car, which is hopefully the view that most people will see. 750i badge on the back of it. Not a bad looking car at all. It's got the twin sort of oval exhaust pipes at the back, and let's come around the other side of it. And it's a high gloss shadow line, this, so there's no chrome on it. Fortunately, don't like chrome on cars, a bit old fashioned I think. High gloss shadow line, and it looks the part. Yeah, it's a nice looking car. As I say, it's a short, well, and it's not a short wheelbase, it's a normal wheelbase, where the 760 was a long wheelbase. So this is hopefully going to be a little bit easier in car park. The 760 could be a little bit difficult, because if you were trying to turn sort of some of the tight corners in car parks that have been designed by bicycle riding vegetarians, it was actually quite difficult, and you used to catch the wheels and that sort of thing. But this is a shorter car, so we shouldn't have too many problems with that one. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a look at the interior, and we'll look at this fantastic light ivory Napa leather. So as we can see inside the car, it has the very light ivory Napa leather. Now that's going to be a little bit of a challenge to keep clean. I had an M5 with cream beige interior. I had that for a few years, and that wasn't too bad. So it's maybe not as bad as you think it's going to be. About a week ago, I used some leather cleaner and some leather balm just to protect the interior. I mean, the interior is very clean anyway. I think it's something I'm probably going to have to do once a month. I used Autoglim. I could have used BMW products, but I had Autoglim handy, so I decided to use that. I think when it goes into the garage for servicing, etc., I'm going to have to buy some sort of a seat cover, a cheap seat cover off eBay, just to put on the driver's seat, so that doesn't matter, these mechanics can be as careful as they can, but the mucky, dirty, oily hands tend to get all over the place. So obviously we don't want that to happen here. No. So as we can see the dash is strange, because normally you have glass here, but you can actually touch these bits, and I think it's some sort of a screen. Now, this is the standard display on the comfort setting, and then you've got other settings. You've got Eco Pro, so if I press that, it changes to that, and if I press the Sport, it changes to this. And obviously we can see we've got the speedo in the middle. I quite like that. It's much clearer than the normal speedometer. Put it back to comfort. It's got this little feature, obviously you can't show it because I'm stationary, but it actually magnifies the actual figure that the pointer's on, which is quite good because it does make it a little bit more visible. So that's something a little bit different. It's certainly a lot more modern than the 760. This has also got a stop-start feature, which, yeah, it's okay. It's a bit weird sometimes. If you want a quick getaway and the engine stopped, there's a slight delay. So here we can see the screen. It's a professional sat-nav, so it's got the wide screen on it, which is great. And it's obviously got all the iDrive different features. and connected drive, which I talked about earlier on. We're going to be looking at that in detail as time goes on. And yeah, so it's quite a bit different to the 760. Down here, we've got a few different controls. We've got the control lattice, which is traction control off, which I won't be doing. And then we've got the control for the car setup, really, suspension setup. So we've got the Eco Pro, we've got Comfort, and we've got Sport. Now, we've also got around the outside a one called Adaptive. So presumably, and I should really know a little bit more about this, presumably that is going to adapt to the actual type of driving or the conditions or whatever. So I need to explore these a little bit more. And Eco Pro, obviously the acceleration is very muted. You don't get a lot of acceleration on Eco Pro. Comfort, yeah, it's quite easy and nice to drive with that one. And Sport firms the whole car up and makes it feel a lot more sporty. Compared to the 760, it doesn't feel anywhere near as sporty as the 760. When you used to put the 760 into sport mode, it really felt like it was ready to do something. This not quite so much, I don't think. Parking sensors. This little feature here, this is interesting. This alters the height of the suspension. When I first got the car, I thought, well, what am I going to use that for? I never used that. But I had to actually go onto a field about a week ago. And so I decided to press that and heighten it up. And it does actually make quite a bit of a difference when you're driving along this field. So it was a feature I thought was probably going to be useless, but it's not. It actually does serve a purpose. So the controls here for the heating and ventilation, this is like it's like a screen, and the buttons, it's like a touch sensitive screen to increase the fan speed and put on the heated seats, etc. So this is all quite modern. And the interior, yeah, it is a nice interior. It's got some sort of a black wood grain here. Got cup holders in there, as you would expect. Storage compartment in here, and it's got this in the storage compartment. Get rid of this phone. And this took me a while to find this. There's a compartment down the side here. This is actually a charging port. Now, if I can get the key out, this car comes with a BMW display key, and it's a funny, strange looking thing if I can find it. And here it is. It's this. Now, I can't remember how to switch the thing on because I haven't used it very much. It's a button on the side somewhere. Here it is. So switch this button on the side. I don't know if it's charged up. Is it doing anything? No, it's not charged up. Anyhow, what you do, we'll look at the display key at a later date. You put it down here, and there's a blue light comes on. If I've got it in the right way around, that way I think. Yeah, it's a blue light there, and that's wireless charging. And what it'll do, it'll charge up the display key, and I think you can do it with the normal ignition key as well. The normal ignition key looks like a standard sort of key fob. This one here, and it's got the M stripes on the side. And even though the battery in this is a normal CR2032 battery, I'm sure it says something you can recharge it by putting it in there, which I somehow doubt it. But these are all the things we'll have to look at. I had to replace the batteries in the key when I first got the car because they were both flat. But if you leave this on here, it does actually charge up. And as I say, we'll have a bit of a fiddle around with the display key at a later date. That's the fun for the moment. What we're going to do, we're going to take a look in the back as well now. So here we've got a view of the back seat. As I say, you can see how nice the ivory leather is. Rear seats do have full adjustment. The backrest goes backwards and forwards, goes up and down, the headrest moves, etc. So that's really nice. And they have heated seats as well. So rear seat passengers are going to be very comfortable in this car, and the back seats have a memory setting, which you can see on the door on the far side. You can see those three buttons, which is the memory setting. If you look down below on the sill plates, we've got the M badge. But on the sill plates, we have the sill cover with the M logo illuminated, which is quite a nice touch. Haven't seen that before, so that's quite nice. And inside, can't really see it in this light, but we have ambient lighting. It's set to blue at the moment, but you can alternate it between red, orange, green, and obviously blue. At night, it is quite a nice little touch. So as we can see inside, it is a very nice looking car because of the lighter interior. It gives it much more of a luxurious feel. So what's it like to drive, you might say? Well, first impressions, and then again doing the same thing again, comparing it with a 760. It feels yeah, at first impressions it felt pretty good, but as you get to drive it more, you realize what the difference is between this and the 760. First of all, one of the things I do like, it is very responsive. The 760, to get a bit of speed up, you had to push on the pedal pretty hard. This, you've just got to push it a little bit. It's very responsive and it's aware. So that is a, you know, that is a good little characteristic of the car. Now, one thing I don't like about it is, even in sport mode, it rolls. The body seems to roll a lot more than the 760 did. So when when you're pushing on, going around corners, it just feels like there's just too much roll to it, that's a bit disappointing. I wouldn't have expected that from a car with the M Sport suspension. Maybe it's something I'm going to get used to, but it's certainly not something I'm used to at the moment. A couple of good things about this car that I wasn't quite expecting is the road tax. Here in the UK, you've got road tax. With the 760, it was about £600 a year. With this, it's 195. So that is a massive difference. It's about a third of the cost in the road tax. Another good advantage to it as well, and I haven't had this car very long, but on a road, I've been getting almost 40 miles a gallon. And I think if you were careful, you probably get a bit more than that. 760 was probably the maximum you get out of that was about 26 a gallon. So this is going to use a lot less fuel than the 760. So it's a much more economical car, with the car being a lot more modern, and it's going to be more economical anyway. But because of the smaller engine, and it's hardly a small engine at 4.4, it's actually going to be a lot more economical than expected. So I'm going to save quite a bit of money on fuel. The car itself, when we bought it, I've got no idea where we are. I'm going to turn right here, I think. When I bought it, it was pretty good value for the type of car it was, or it is, should I say. It was just under £22,000. It's a 2017 model. This is, if you're watching this video, this is 2025. So it is what, 7 years old, 8 years old. And just under 22,000, which is not bad. It had 68,000 miles on when I bought it, which for a BMW is not a fantastic amount of miles. I do a lot of motorway driving. I do a lot of miles, drive in Europe as well. So it's going to get a lot of use. It's going to get a lot of miles put on it. I'm probably going to have it for around about 4 to 5 years. And by that time, it'll have well over 100,000 miles on. 760 had 124,000 on. I am known for putting a lot of miles on the car, so it will be quite a high mileage car by the time I'm finished with it. But that's going to be around about another 4 to 5 years. So over the time of ownership, I'm going to be doing more of these video diaries, just so people can get a bit of an idea what it's like to own a 750i, a G11 model, and we'll be looking at the costs of ownership, how reliable it is, any repairs, maintenance, and anything else we get done on it as well. So we hope you found the video informative, and we'll see you on the next video. But if you like what you've seen, don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course put comments in the bottom, and I'll try to reply to as many comments as possible.